The only thing that he gets upset about is if I leave, and then if I leave him in the middle of an activity with him, he gets very upset about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected if you deliver a stern request, command, or reprimand?
Unaffected.
These behaviors are unaffected? Okay. So are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected if you present but do not interact with David for 15 minutes or more, let's say?
Yes, if I don't give Dave my full attention and he notices, he will have a tantrum and probably hurt himself.
Okay. Are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected by change in routine?
Well, big changes, the huge changes can sometimes make him have an outburst, but mostly he's okay as long as I'm around. He can adapt.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected if the person wants... Okay. Are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected if something the person wants is present but they can't get it?
Well, right now the only thing that David wants is to be me. Like, other than the things that just keep him happy and busy, the only thing that he needs to be present is me. And that's all the time. But as soon as I remove myself from the situation,
Yeah.
he has a meltdown.
Okay, perfect. And are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected if they are alone? Are the above behaviors more likely, less likely, or unaffected if they are alone, when no one else is present?
He can't be left alone. As soon as he's left alone, he has a tantrum. So I have to watch him 24/7. I can't leave him alone at all. As soon as I do, he'll react, and it's worse when he's alone because then he has no one to restrain him.
Okay. So right now, I want you to think back to the behaviors that we talked about before, the ones that you had concerns about. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to try and identify the function of the undesirable behaviors, okay? And what the consequences maintain the behavior.
Okay.
Okay? So you can go ahead.
Well, his major behavior problem, the self-hurting, self-abuse, where he'll hit himself and he'll, throw himself against walls.
And that's happening because you've been removed?
Yes, that happens because I've been removed. He does that to get me back, to bring me back into the room so that I'm around and I pay attention to him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And do you think this is going to cause him problems when he goes to school?
Yeah, I'm really scared that he's going to get violent towards other kids, like he was to Cole, or kids are just going to be scared of him and not be able to handle him, and he's going to be an outcast, or
And those are very valid concerns. So, what else? Do you find anything else that's going on?
Well, again, it's getting worse. It's not even that when I'm away. It can be if I don't give him enough attention that he'll start to do this, and this is just bad because it's starting to get to the point where I can't even do work, and it's putting strain on me and my job, which is also not good. It's not.
Of course not. That's not an environment you want to be working in, and I can understand how tough that is for you.
Yes.
Especially when you're not receiving very much help.
No, I'm not. Another thing is every time that he has an outburst, I can't not be there for him. I can't hold off. I have to get right back. If I'm out of the house, grocery shopping or working or something, I have to get right back to the house because I don't want him to hurt himself. If I'm working, I'll drop everything to make him stop. So it's just becoming more and more challenging as he gets older because it's getting worse and worse. He's getting more and more dangerous to himself.
Okay, and I just want to pride you on that. I understand that must be so hard having to rush home and everything. I think you're doing a great job as a parent. So, and that's why we're here. I'm here to help you. So right now, I'm just going to get you to rate a couple things for me, okay? So I'm going to give you a behavior, and I want you to determine if it's a low efficiency or a high efficiency, okay? Okay, so just tell me which number you think. So, outbursts. From 1 to 5, what would you say the efficiency is?
A 4, just because I don't have to rush as much.
Okay, so you're going to say it's about a 4. And what about the self-injury?
That I would say is definitely a 5. I can't stay away because he gets exactly what he's looking for.
And then what do you say about the schedule changes?
I don't know, a 1.
Another 1?
Yeah, he doesn't have any problem with that.
That's because to prep him for a schedule change, right?
So it's a lot of work for me, and it doesn't help.
Okay.
Any differently.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you a couple more questions, and then I think we're gonna be done. We're gonna be all finished, and then we can get someone in there and watching him, so we can start analyzing his behavior for you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're just going to define some of the primary methods used by David to communicate, okay? So what communication strategies are used by or available to David, and how consistently are these strategies used?
David can have a behavior analyst come see him, up to 3 times a week.
Okay, and that's what I'm going to be doing, right?
Okay, great. You haven't started yet, but in the next couple of weeks we'll start, and then.
Okay, so you need to go home and get him prepped, right?
Yeah, I'll have to go home and I'll have to prep for that. Before now I thought he was a little too young, but it's getting to that point where I need something.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions, and I just need to indicate what behaviors David exhibits to achieve the following things. Okay, so just get my paper ready here. So if he's requesting attention, how does David go about this?
If he wants attention from me, it'll be an outburst, or he'll throw one of his abuse tantrums, and he'll hurt himself.
Okay, and what about when he's asking for help?
If he's asking for help with something, he usually just asks me. He's usually fairly polite.
He can just ask? Yes. Okay. So is his talking up, can he say a few words then?
Yes, yeah, he can talk okay.
Okay, perfect. So what about when he needs food or an object, or he wants to do something? Can he just ask you?
Yeah, as long as I'm paying attention to him, he'll just ask.
Okay, so you're saying if he needs food, he'll ask. If he needs to take a break, he can ask you. If he wants to show you something, he can ask you.
Usually he's a very polite little boy as long as he is getting what he wants, which is my attention.
Okay. We're very lucky to have a polite 4-year-old. At that age, they're not always so polite. Okay, so how does David indicate physical pain?
He doesn't at all. It's weird.
Okay, so after he's had a temper tantrum and he has caused himself harm, he doesn't act hurt afterwards?
He doesn't act hurt at all.
He just is upset and just wants his mom. Oops. Okay, that's understandable. That's often what happens when it's self-injury behavior. It is really unfortunate, but sometimes they don't display that they are hurt, so that can be something that you really need to watch carefully. So what about if he is confused? How does he indicate confusion?
Usually if he's confused, he'll have another outburst.
Another outburst? And that's common in autistic children because, often they don't have the proper communication skills. So when they do get very frustrated, they do just have outbursts. That's nothing to worry about, but that's something that we'll need to work on his communication skills more. Okay, and finally, how does he deal with protest or reject?
If it's rejection from me, I will have an outburst or a tantrum. Rejection from other people, sometimes he can a little better.
Okay.
If I tell him no, it's usually bad.
Okay. So in general, what are things that appear to be reinforcing or enjoyable for David?